This is a video going over the materials that you will need at Guide to a Magic Life and also an overview of the calls and everything you have access to once you join our community. So first, you will need an internet connection. And I'm assuming if you're watching this video, you have an internet connection. When you sign up, you have access to an online course. We have an online platform which includes all your resource. That means all your MedStation, audio MedStation, all your yoga classes, all your creativity tutorials are on a course platform. And we have also our online community on this platform. So where you will post your insights, post your artwork, post your visions, your word banner, what's going on with you, how you're working with the symbol of the month, what's anything, any like your life material is posted on there. We also have a Facebook group, um, just because a lot of us, we're on Facebook. I do not recommend to post on Facebook. I feel it's more private that we do everything through our online community. And it does feel more intentional when we post on the online community that's available to us. Although some of us kind of just post twice. It's one of these things where I'm always torn, where Facebook has become such like a daily thing that you check. But what I don't like about Facebook is like it's mixed in with like news of the world and obituaries and like your friends, your neighbors' pictures and back to school and like and then if you make Guide intentional, like I will go on the Guide website, like it makes it more intentional. So I keep a Facebook just for communication, like sometimes quick things, but really where we share is on the online community. And then what you will need is a planner. You need a planner, the Guide to a Magic Life planner. And the whole structure of your year is in the planner, all the content. We work with the visual imagery, so you have all the images for each month. You have the coloring pages in there, you have the oracle. So the planner is your workbook for your year, and it's an incredible resourceful tool. I hope it's another reminder that it's somewhere in close to your Atlar, in your space to remind you, I'm doing this, I'm in this group. It calls on you in the middle of the night, and it's there to hold. There's something for me. Uh, it's we're so far from AI when we're in Guide to a Magic Life. We're aggressively human. And there's something about, writing down your vision, like old school. And I know now we're so far from that. Everything's on our phones and Note Add and the reminders and stuff. This is intentional. There is something that happens when you write down, there's like a deeper learning, an embodied learning. And again, to have this like really special book, this like magic book that you get to nurture all year is really, really special. It's specific to us, it's specific to our group. There are tons of women that have this planner, they're not in Guide, but this is like us, it's a reenactment of the planner. So it's going a step further and really applying, becoming everyday magic seeker. So you'll need a planner. In the planner, there are pages where it's journaling and creativity. So there are blank pages where you can, write your thoughts, but I do send quite a bit of journaling prompts. So every week at Guide, you get a newsletter, and usually the first newsletter of the month is your symbol newsletter. So it's the long form newsletter of what we're working on, the theme for each month. And the next week after, I send another, and it's called an Alchemy Agency email. And in that one, it's like we alchemize our learning. So I give journal prompts, I give my own practical magic, and I give even extra curated content from our studios that you can delve into even further. Okay. So the first newsletter, it's like the long form about the symbol. There's the created magic. So usually there's like, for example, in January it's Inanna. So you'll get my long form newsletter, you'll get a meditation on Inanna, you'll get a yoga class on Inanna, and you'll get a creativity tutorial. And then the next week you'll get extra bonus classes that are related to Inanna, and then you'll get journal prompts to further, interest begin this like self. They're like soul inquiries, and also you'll get the how I work with that symbol, what's happened to me in my life, how has the symbol worked its good work through Estelle. But it's personal to me, but it really helps to expand. For me, I have so many women that have been expanders in my life, correct? Like they're like, they've lived this, and it's not the point of like nobody will ever completely quote unquote understand you. If you're waiting for that, you'll be waiting all your life. Okay. There's not nobody that has lived what I've lived. And yet I've guide is a place where we are so attentionate that it does feel that void. It's not a matter of being understood. It's a matter of being in a place where we can land fully into ourselves. So that's very, very powerful. And we do this. I mean, I give you so many modalities in which we can do this and create mirrors, not only with ourselves, but mirrors into the experiences that we live. And journaling, it's one of the incredible alchemy of our lives that's available to us, that reveals our consciousness, our thoughts, our expressions, our emotions, right? So this is my journal right now. I'm a pretty ferocious journaler, but maybe for you, the planner, you're just starting kind of journaling, and maybe for you, there's like enough room in the planner to just use the planner. In terms of movement, I mean, if you did have a yoga mat, it's fine, but a lot of the practices, you could just do it on a carpet, with just comfortable clothes. So I wouldn't worry so much about the movement. I share with you all so many good playlists. So when you do the yoga class, what I recommend is having a second device where you can press play on the yoga class and then press play on the Spotify playlist to really like amplify the experience of doing yoga in your home space at home. Um, the Oracle deck, my own Guide to a Magic Life Oracle deck. Not everyone has it. The oracles at the back are a bit different, but I do think the further along you're on guide, you will want to have this, and really create a relationship of your own with the symbols. That's the whole point. You're not going to copy me. That would be useless. You're making your own. You're developing your own language with the visual imageries, the symbols, the theme at hand. You're making it your own, and what a great way to do it. And it's just another way to connect, from an inside place. And yeah, so the planner and the deck is both available on my website. It comes with a really nice bag that I love so much. It says Guide to Magic Life and the whole thing. And then these two uh, tools. There's also the coloring book on my website, but there's coloring pages in the planner. So you're all set with that. Now, in terms of art materials, look, if you're starting and you haven't painted since you were in like grade two, I would just recommend to get this at Michael's. They sell it. I think it's like $7. And I do a little watercolor almost every Sunday call with me. So you'll want to have something. If you did not want to invest in that, just coloring pencils or Sharpies will be great. It will be up to you after, as you navigate through the creativity studio, how much you want to invest, what kind of art you want to make. But ultimately, if you're maybe just attending the calls with me, you'll just need something like this. Little brushes, two or three is enough, a little pot with water. So, before, and I'm going to talk about the calls now, but when you attend a call with me, like make sure you have your tools near you. Like you have your watercolor paint. This is a mixed media, but you can buy like a watercolor, buy the cheapest. We're not, it's about the process. It's like process art that we're doing. It's mindful art. It's creative mindfulness. We're we're concerned about the process. We're the end is it's okay, but it's not. We're here for the process. We're here for the mindfulness. We're here for the bodyfulness. And so these are our tools. So once before you start, before going into a call, give yourself a little tea. I got my fruity tea always. You got our bottle of water. You got your tools. We're going to need the planner every call, probably the Oracle deck. Usually there's a card with each of the month, not all the month, but most of the month. Maybe even extra notes. Some of you are like ferocious note takers, I know. And then you have your things, maybe even a little incense, maybe a little candle, comfortable clothes. Tell your whole family, mommy is going, or I'm not going to be available for like 90 minutes. That's all I need. And maybe you have your earphones and you're setting up the stage. Um, and so that's what you're gonna need. And I know like throughout the years, some of you have like invested in like things for scrapbooking or like things for ceramics or things for like sculptures or like sketchbooking or like bigger pads or like oil painting or acrylics or pastels or that will be up to you. And that's actually a really exciting part. But what you'll need with me will be this. And again, if you have colored pencils, that would be perfect as well. Okay, so I think those are like the materials. Now for the calls. So I just want to make something clear right off the bat. Every month, there's going to be at least two, if not three, live opportunities, actually more if you count the yoga, to connect with me, Estelle, live. That means in real time, live on Zoom. That's a lot. And the point, and this is what we need to unlearn, is that you don't have to do it all. It's not about doing it all. It's about, more importantly, it's about knowing your why. Why are you in guide? And everybody's why is different. So I have women in guide, they're only there for the Sunday call. You don't see them at this. And for me, I've always said, even if you were just coming to the Sunday calls with me, I mean, I think your investment is it's pretty done. This could like maybe ride you until, the next month. Um, but I want to make that clear because I think when we enter in the portal and we see the core site, we kind of like, oh my God, there's like so much resource. And we're so used to other people saying, okay, so you're gonna do that, and we're gonna do like that's our whole school system, right? And then like at the end, you're gonna get an A or a D or a E. Well, soul work's not like that. Soul work, there's no grade in soul work. And also the success is not dependable on anybody but you. So at the beginning of the journey, it's so important to be like, what would make that it would be a successful guide to a magic life for me this year? And again, for some of you, that's like, I'm gonna attend all the calls with Estelle on Sunday. And then some other of you, I never see you because you're like deep into the creativity studio or like you've decided to do like a 112-day program or you're doing this and like sometimes you pop into the community and like you're riding high and like you're on your own and that's what you need from the circle. Do you understand? So once you come in, it's like, okay, how will I show up? What work will I do like on my own, sit my ass down, and at the beginning too, you have to kind of feel it out. You're like, okay, maybe I'm gonna try and do all the meditation, all the audio meditation. Okay, maybe like I'm really here for the yoga and like so I'm gonna go in the movement studio and in the movements, like there is so much. Also, once we have like our word of the year, you can like curate the resources in the studio with like your word of the year. I mean, it's endless, but it's very important. Your why will really dictate how you'll want to engage with the materials at hand and the community and the live calls. I hope that's clear because there's never any like, I'm so behind, guide. It doesn't make sense when you say that. And remember, your presence is always is always enough. And, you know, I'll leave it at that, but that's really what we're trying to unlearn. And it's really it's a hard thing because we've been conditioned into our bones, right? And so yeah, so the calls available to me. So as mentioned, the first Sunday of every month is the Sunday call with me. It's at noon Atlantic time, 90 minutes. And this call is meant to be educational. It's meant to be inspiring. It's like the presentation of the theme of the month. We have time to meditate. Sometimes we do a little movement piece, a creativity piece, and we have time to share, depending on how much time I took to prepare. And then later on in the month, Monday at 7, we have a sharing circle that is specific to the theme of the month. So, for example, in January, the sharing circle will be about Inanna. So, and this is more about like the materials of our lives. This call can take any which way. We never know what, but we are talking about the theme, how it's working in our lives at the moment. The Sunday call is recorded with me, so if you did miss it, you can always watch the replay. But the sharing circle is not for just if you're there, and I do this for like confidentiality. I want to respect, your life and what's happening. And I think there's something to be said about like being there live also. And um, it takes great courage to bravely and vulnerably share. And yeah, and I think that should be felt in the present, correct? 4 times a year, we have what I call a luminary call. And that's led by you. It's a peer-led call. It's usually somebody that's been in guide before. So if you're a newbie, don't worry, you won't have to do this call. But this is a radical aspect of our women's circle where we flip the switch and you become your own mistress of radiance and you show us the way. You tell us your story. This is like a perfect moment to tell us your story, why you're in guide, what's help, your ritual, and we do it with you. You show up, you show us what you're doing, and we get to do it with you. What a better way to master what you've learned here at Guide through this is like leadership at its best. And also it's like really important for you to be the one hosting. Uh, there is a really value into being in that chair, being in the hot seat, so to speak, and being able to being, the space holder, being the one that's adjusting the temperature and the gauge and the atmospheric beauty, and even like planning a lot of time. The guide members will tell me, oh, planning was so good because like I had to know what I was going to say. I had to, okay, what have I been doing? How I've been working with the symbols. So this year, the 4 calls will be with goddesses. So my only prerequisite is that you've worked with that goddess before and you share with us a ritual in breath, movement, and creativity, because of course, those are our pillars here at Guide. Also, and that luminary calls at Mondays at 7 p.m. But again, there's 4 of them a year. So some month that there won't be any luminary calls. The last thing that you have access to is the access to my Wednesday night Radiance Yoga class, and that's at 6:30 Wednesday almost every Wednesday. I do 8 week series. And because there's only one of me, all the yoga classes are to the tune of that month's goddess. So we are embodying that goddess within the yoga tradition, within the yoga sequence that I create for you all. So that's another like some weeks it would, let's say like I do a Sunday call, then you show up on the Wednesday, and then the next would be a Monday. Like for sure, for some of you, that would be too much for you. But the point is not to attend, like the point to be like, and maybe you're here for that. You're here for the yoga. So like attending the access, like you have that access to the Wednesday night. Um, and and you decide. So I think there's like a moment where through all the calls, you just need to decide, okay, what am I willing to commit to? What am I willing to try? Um, and why am I in guide really? Because if it's for community, then the Sunday call and the sharing circle will be your most, attended call. Also, if it's for community, we want to see you make yourself visible in the community, share and tell us what you're up to and connect via this way. And I think that's it for that. When you sign up, we give you a calendar too. It's a PDF that you can print out, and all the information, like all the calls are on there. So what I do is like I just print that calendar and then I have it. I can overview it every month. We also give you email reminders. Like it's actually really hard to miss a call. Because, and we remind you also in the newsletter. If you, all the links are all in your emails, and they're all on your course site, so you're never like missing a link or anything. And if you did, you can reach out to Trista, who's my hand, Trista Bloom, that you meet really early on, and she helps manage the call and the content, and she's the one sending out my newsletter as well. She's a big part of the body of Guide to Magic Life, and also if you come on retreat with me. So yeah, so that was a bit more of a dry call, but these are questions I get all the time. And you all worry so much about the materials, but I do get it. It do grounds you, like having all your little things. It does ground you into the experience of guide. And also, I don't know, for me, I love having my trinkets. I think it's like a magical woman thing. I love having things I can touch. I love having little minders. A lot of you have like your little guide wall and you stick your things and your banner and your goddesses and maybe your little mantras and I think it's an important visual anchor for your experience here at Guide. I love to have my monthly atlar, so whatever goddess that we're working on, I usually have like the painting of it, my what I'm working on at the time, my sketching, and it's a visual reminder, right? We become what we look at. So how can you like live in your space so that it become again this word I was using in the intro video, the architecture of guide. How can I weave guide into my life? If I keep guide away, if I don't have a planner, if I like don't invest in like the painting, like why do I even bother? Again, don't have like half-ass it. I think it creates excitement too and more commitment. If you have your little things, right? It makes it more like, okay, I'm serious about this. I'm doing this. For all of us too that want to, we always talk about like connecting with your inner child. Like your inner child loved to have magic books. She loved to have diary and she loved to like, doodling and doing things like this is like your soul knows that. It's again, it's like building blocks of human nature. So don't underestimate what a good like journal and actual materials can do and ask for the call. You're going to have to make space and sometimes it means asking for help you know this is really important to me, guys, in my household. So this is what I need. And you'd be surprised because most people who love you, they'll be like maybe a bit shocked at first, but usually people who love you, they want you to be happy. They want you to thrive. They want you to nurture yourself. They want you to be the sparkliest version of yourself that's available out there, the most beautiful and powerful version of yourself out there. And through Guide and its multi-model approach, um, I don't have any doubts that it's possible. We only need you to show up, and show up with hope. I love you so much. See you in Guide. Bye.